Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. If we've never met before, my name is Elise Saunders and I'm a singer-songwriter, country recording artist. And today I'd like to share my own personal top 9 tips for writing a country song. Step right up, I got 9 tips for writing. Step right up, I got 9 tips for writing a country song. Tip number 1. Find your authentic songwriting voice. And what I mean by that is that we all have our own personal way of communicating, we all have our own natural abilities, and we all have melodies that come from the heart. The more you get a chance to be able to write with other writers or on your own, the more you'll be able to see what your authentic style is like and as a brand. For instance, when I co-write with others and they've brought up a really cool line that I really like, I'll say I like the line, I'm just gonna have to adjust it a bit because that's not actually how I would say it in conversation. And that's important to me as an artist because it does need to be authentic to me and my voice so that when I am sharing it, it feels real and it's gonna in turn feel more real to my audience. And you don't necessarily have to be great at both melodies as well as lyrics. Let's say you're stronger at lyrics but not as strong at melodies, or the other way around. That's okay too, because that's just who you are and you can bring that to the table, and that's where you can collaborate with somebody else who can bring their strengths to the table. Also, I wanted to quickly mention, if you haven't done so already, make sure you're signing up to your performance rights organization in your country. So just do some research on that. I know that in the US it is ASCAP and BMI, and in Canada it's SOCAN. And what they are is they're a copyright collective that administrates your performance royalties on your behalf. So as soon as you're done writing a song, all you have to do is plug that into the system, and by doing that, you're protecting yourself and your song on the date of creation. Tip number 2. Well, this is interesting. I want to know more. I'm interrupting this message to remind you to like and subscribe. The title. And when I say hook, line, and sinker, I literally mean that. If you find an awesome title that's really interesting, your audience is going to be hooked right from the start, and you're going to reel them in because they're going to want to know exactly what is this song all about. And how do you do that? You have to basically find, first and foremost, a conversational title, but something that's clever, original, and hooky. So as an example, I'll use Luke Combs' song, Beer Never Broke My Heart. That, my friends, is a title that is a winner. And as soon as I saw that title, I knew it was going to be a hit, and I knew I really wanted to know more about the song and I wanted to listen. And what I really like about that title is that it really tells a story in itself, and it's funny, and it's sassy, it's clever, it's everything that a title should be in country music. And how you find those titles are just by having conversations with people. I've often had it where I'll be talking to a friend and they might say something that really clicks and they don't even know what they said, and I'll write it down on my phone so that I can save it for another time. And I've heard a lot of hit songwriters will do that too, where they might be in a public space at a restaurant and they hear a couple talking and they might say something funny or interesting, and it could be a great line for a song, so they'll make sure that they put it in their notes and tuck it away for their next songwriting session. And last but not least, keep the title to the point. Number 3. You have 45 seconds to get into a chorus, and 60 seconds is the max. I didn't make this stuff up. This is what the hit makers do. And why they do it is because, well, the listener only has so much attention span, but really the first verse should be about reeling them in with an interesting story because they'll want to hear more. And then you use that pre-chorus to lift it and bring attention to the chorus, and then bam, bam, bam. That's the part that they've been waiting for, bam. And that's the lyrical sum of a story and what they're going to remember. You got that earworm that they're never going to forget. And I won't be able to say it enough, but repeat, repeat, repeat that melodic phrase. And I mean, you can only do that so many times in a country song before it drives people crazy. But the number of times you repeat a melodic phrase can make or break a song. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Tip number 4, the verses and the bridge. So to follow up on our conversation of structure of song, I wanted to put a little more highlight on the verses and the bridge. And this one might be a little more important for somebody that's newer to songwriting, but it also might be a great reminder to you. So the first verse, you don't want to overcomplicate. It's usually about 4 lines, and you use it as a way to introduce the idea of the song, so that the listener's like, well, this is interesting. I want to keep listening. And also it helps them figure out if they're going to be a participant in the song, or at the very least, an observer of the song. And then the second verse is usually the one that furthers the development of the song and helps it come to full completion with the chorus. And then usually the bridge, you kind of keep that short and simple. I like to keep bridges usually about 1 to 2 lines. These days you want to get to that chorus as quickly as you can. But the bridge is really the theme of the song, or the ultimate message of the song, or the one that kind of brings the song even more to completion. It really depends on what you think is best for the song at that point. If the song doesn't need a bridge, then it doesn't need a bridge. If you've already said all that you need to, then just use that moment as an instrumental bridge. Tip number 5. The structure of a country song. So there is a main structure that a lot of the hit country songs have been following for a long time. And there's also a second one that I've been seeing becoming a little more popular as well. And when I mention these, it doesn't mean that there's not room for one-offs, that they'll do something new and fresh and it will do really well. But for the most part, they stick to usually the same structure. So the first structure is verse 1 with a pre-chorus and then a chorus, and then verse 2 with a pre-chorus and chorus, and then they'll usually follow that with a short bridge and then go right into that chorus. And then the other one that I'm seeing starting to become more popular is just really focusing on that hook and focusing on that chorus, kind of like a pop song. So what they do is a verse, chorus, second verse, chorus, no bridge. They'll do a short instrumental, and then they get right into a breakdown chorus and then into a full chorus again at the end. So it just keeps repeating that same melody. I'm also gonna pop in some of the famous chords that a lot of country songs use, just right here. So you usually take 4 of those chords and make them your own. And if you wanna, look it up and search a bunch of different chords online, you can see kind of how they structure them in some of your favorite songs. But for the most part, you pick 3 majors and 1 minor. Number 6. Create a song that paints a picture for your listener, so that anytime they do hear your song, they'll actually be able to see those images in their mind, and give them some sensory, like feel, taste, touch, smell, hear. The more you're able to bring those elements into a song, the more personally connected your listener is going to feel, and more nostalgia that they have for the song, so that they're going to keep coming back more and more and more to be able to experience that moment that they had in that song. To give you a better idea of how you can take a simple line and turn it into something a little more sensory and memorable, I'm going to give you an example. So you could say, I went to the beach and I had a great time. Or you could say, salt in the air, sand on our feet, your hand in mine, never want to leave. Something simple like that. I mean, that's not great, but it gives you a good idea. A song that does that really, really well is Deanna Carter's Strawberry Wine.
Strawberry Wine.
And if for some reason you've never heard that song, which I can't imagine, check it out. Number 7. The importance of pronouns. You should always be conscious about what pronouns you're going to be using in your song, even before you start writing. So whatever topic that you land on, you should always aim to be able to shift the song so that it makes sense in first person. You can still use words like him, he, she, her, but you should always aim for the song to be able to make sense in first person. And the reason for that is you're going to have a much larger impact on your audience, and also those are the ones that do the best because the listener can relate more to the song. As an example, over 60% of Billboard's country hits were all written in first person. So either in we, us, you, me, I. And that's because they're going to have a bigger impact on your audience and they're going to relate more to the song. This is in line with country songs that are linear, conversational, and between two people, and that would be you and me. So instead of having a passive listener, you're going to have a listener that is a participant in the song. Number 8. Well, we've almost made it to the end. A-E-I-O-U-Y. That would be because we want to choose vowels that allow more room for the vocalist to be able to let their stunning vocals soar over the vowels. And secondly, because A-E-I-O-U-Y are usually the best rhyming words to fit with your topic. Number 9. Hey, we've made it to the end. But I do have one question for you though. Did you do your job? This should be the question that you ask yourself at the end of every songwriting session. And whatever theme that you decided on, think about the audience that's going to be listening to that song. And you have to think, did I make them cry? Did I make them laugh? Did I make them cheer? Did I make them question, feel, fall in love? If you were able to tick off at least one of those or more, then you've done your job right. So well done. Well, that's all I have for now. Whether you're a new songwriter looking to learn a new skill, or maybe you're a songwriter that's been doing this for a while and you were just looking for some tips and tricks and reminders, I hope that this video did that for you. And my last piece of advice is just keep writing. Write. No matter how it turns out, just keep doing it. And I hope that you write a lot of amazing songs that are going to be able to help people in some way. And no matter what, we can certainly use more creativity in this world right now. I really enjoyed hanging out with all of you today and sharing my songwriting tips. Make sure you hit the like button and give me a big thumbs up so that I know you enjoyed it too. I really appreciate your support. And make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can receive notifications from me when I release new videos. I will be releasing a new video on a new topic every Thursday at 11 a.m. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Elise Saunders. Happy songwriting. Much love to all of you. Just by listening to country radio and also listening to pop radio and rock radio and just really figure out what is current right now. And you can add those different influences into your country song to make it unique, gives you more of a brand or gives you a little bit of an edge to your songwriting. So you could say that I've been songwriting my whole life. I technically started when I was about 6 years old. When I was inspired to do that through my mom, who used to be a singer-songwriter, and I would go through her guitar bag and just pull out different sheets of lyrics, and I just started writing that way. And then when I decided to get into music as a career, that's when I started collaborating with professionals and started writing up to learn more about songwriting and how to become more of a professional songwriter. You'll see how good it feels just to be able to create something and to be able to share your experiences that you know that people can relate to, and hopefully it will be able to help someone in some way.